Hey everyone, it's Nick, and I'm at the ARB in Ann Arbor. This was one of my favorite places to train over the summer for the Camino de Santiago. I wanted to chime in about the way I was describing the Camino as a mission to overcome chronic fatigue syndrome, or CFS. I wasn't expecting it to be completely over after the Camino, and yet I was still surprised when at the end I entered a really rough 10 days or so, and it was so rough in relation to the rest of the time on the Camino. On the Camino, I barely had any issues. It was really surprising and incredible. I was aching and sore most days, but it wasn't anything like the usual kind of muscle aches and malaise and cloudiness that can happen with CFS. So I think this is a lesson in the way that everyone's recovery process is actually a very personal journey. And I just made a video about looking at time in a nonlinear way. I think that this is a lesson about looking at healing in a nonlinear way. It's not just a straight shot. It's definitely not an instant thing like some illnesses where you can just take a medication and it'll instantly be cured, especially in this case where it's such a holistic situation. I think that there's sort of a windiness to it, and it's a journey. That's another way to describe it. And it's not just a physical journey, it's also a mental, emotional, spiritual. So for instance, on the Camino, I wasn't just walking. It seemed to have some thing to do with being outside so much, being so connected to the earth. And I have other theories too about what was working so well out there that I'll be testing out in the time to come. But there's also something about facing fears. That was a big part of it too, like going abroad by myself for that amount of time and being in situations that I really had no idea what to expect. That was something that I was too afraid to do beforehand. So I realized very quickly on the Camino that I'm entering a period where I'm not going to be hiding from life anymore. And I think as I continue to press my fears and my growing edges, I'm going to probably find that the situation with chronic fatigue changes, morphs, and maybe decreases a lot as well. So with that in mind, I think it's time to share that this winter I'll actually be embarking on the next stage of my journey. I'm going to be going to Guatemala at the end of December for an open-ended adventure. I have a one-way ticket, and the idea is to spend some time at eco-villages and intentional communities and to try out the digital nomad thing for a while, being able to do some types of work wherever I am, and really just to explore life and the world more, to get more experience and learn on the ground, you know, through the day-to-day situations that I find myself in. So stay tuned. I'll be posting video blogs once or twice a week, and thanks for watching. Hasta luego.